Welcome everybody to the Ashland worldwide headquarters here. We're going to do a quick video today of the things that I carry around. I've noticed that I've been wearing Dublin. So you can see my wallet here. This is my belt that I just took off my pants. I got a new product here that we'll be announcing soon, and I've got an Apple Watch band. All of them are in English Tan Dublin, and I think it says a lot because I have my choice of literally any leather. I mean, I guess you do too, but I just have so much easy access to leather that I can choose any of them, and I tend to go towards the English Tan Dublin. So anyways, let's go through this. This is an English Tan Dublin belt, and I've been wearing this one for about a year now, which is pretty cool, and it's working great. I haven't done anything to this. I haven't polished it. I haven't tried to improve it for the video here, and it's just developing a really nice look and a nice patina. You can see the luster is a little bit brighter. It almost has like a little bit of a wet look. This has been my most comfortable belt that I've ever worn, and I think it has to do with that leather. This is an extra thick piece of 8 to 9 ounce. And then because it's a veg tan, it has that ability to sort of mold around whatever you put inside of it. This is my English Tan Dublin Capone, and this is actually one of the first like pre-production Capones that we did. So I've been wearing this one since fall last year, and I've been loving it. With just the cards on the outside, they're a lot easier to get at, so I can get at that guy with just one hand. It's interesting because it's kind of hard to come up with new items sort of generally when it comes to wallets. It's sort of like people know what a wallet's supposed to look like in their mind, and when you go off course to something a little different, say like the Fat Herbie here, people get a little bit of a cognitive dissonance. So they see a wallet like the Herbie and they're like, I don't know, that's not really a wallet. But when they see something like, Johnny the Fox here, this is something a little bit more relatable. It's really hard to sort of change people's perspective and perception of like what a wallet is. But the Capone, I think, is this interesting sort of crossover. It's relatable because it kind of looks like a money clip, but it's also a little bit different. So I've been loving this. I wear it in the back pocket. I think a lot of people will want to wear this in the front pocket. So you can definitely do both. It's very tight and compact, packs a lot of punch. You can put a ton of stuff in here in a pretty small form factor. So this watch band here is also English Tan Dublin. This is the same exact thickness. It's everything. The same exact everything as the belt here. It's the same thickness leather as we use on the belts. And I came into work one day and Lupe made this strap for me and said, "What do you think?" And I said, "Wow, that's really thick, but it's wearing in crazy." And I do a lot of gross things with the strap on, and I have never washed it. So it's probably a little gross, but like I'll go running, I'll go biking in this thing. I wear this all the time, every day. And I think it's wearing in really cool. Which kind of leather am I using? All the stuff that today's focus for this video is going to be on a leather that Horween produces called Dublin. And all the stuff that I've been wearing is that Dublin leather in a color called English Tan. And it's a really nice veg tan leather from Horween. It has a waxy finish on the surface. It's very much an aniline leather, so it has a lot of natural character. I also wanted to show you this guy. This is these are my keys. But I've been wearing this key fob here for 10 years. This is not Dublin. This is the only non-Dublin piece that I've been wearing. This is actually a leather also from Horween called Latigo. And Latigo is sort of like a generic leather term. A lot of tanneries make a leather called Latigo. But I think Horween's Latigo is really special. I was actually talking to Skip Horween yesterday about wanting to promote Latigo more. And I kind of told him, I think, because the Latigo word is sort of generic, I think it's doing a disservice to Horween, and they make a few different versions of Latigo. The other thing I wanted to show you before I get too far off topic, I've got this new design here that I've been wearing this guy for the last couple weeks, and I've been really enjoying this. It's sort of like a keychain clip. And I was using a carabiner for, this mess of keys here. I would just clip this on a carabiner. There's a design, this is not like revolutionary. A lot of people have made sort of leather belt loops to go over your belt. And that's what this top section here is for. I actually have been enjoying it the other way around. So I'll clip this to my jean belt loops. I guess that's what they're called. So I'll clip that there, and then I'll hang my keys off the ring on the other side. The other thing is the hardware is super high quality. It's like really tough feeling. This is not the final key ring, by the way. The key ring that we're gonna do is a little bit nicer. So I've got a boat here of some of the stuff that we're shipping out, and a lot of the stuff that we're sending out today is Dublin. We got a lot of English Tan and black Dublin. So this English Tan Dublin belt, and that's the same one that I've been wearing. So here's what it looks like after it's been worn in a bit. You can see it's developed a little bit of patina. Actually, it's developed a lot of patina. It's a lot darker on the edges, and I just love the way that's worn in. So this is a good before and after here for how that Dublin wears in. I really like how we do the sizing stamps. We had this like custom artwork made for each of the different sizes. The way to do it is you take your current belt and you measure from the pin of the buckle to the hole that you currently wear, so you can kind of see, you know, the holes I'm wearing. I would measure to there, and I'd probably get like a 36-inch measurement. That's the exact size I would want to order from our belts. They tend to be about 2 inches bigger than most jean sizes. This one right here, just look how nice that piece of Dublin is. I think I want to start changing my terminology around, by the way. So what we've been calling grain character, like these striations here, they're sort of going from the bottom left and sort of up, and then this one kind of goes that way. I think I'm going to start calling that figuring, because technically it's not the grain. The grain is really more of like these little bits of texture. Like you can see in the highlight there, see that little texture? The smaller texture. That's the grain. And then I think I'm going to start calling this figuring. These sort of like more wrinkled effects. This is another Giant of the Fox here, but this one's in the Chrome Excel. And yeah, I guess I was complaining about how hard it was to finish the edges, but these are really nicely done. I had just noticed, in my experience, they're a little bit more like hard to fill in, and I'm not sure why. You know, obviously we've done a nice job here, so you can do it. But I find it a little harder to do the edges on the Chrome Excel when compared to something like the Dublin. But anyways, this wallet is our best-selling style. And again, I think it's because people think of a wallet and they think of something that looks like this, where it's a bifold that has a bill slot in the back, and then you got these card holders on the inside. This is something we do a little differently. We've got hidden card slots underneath each of these, which is much more difficult to make this style construction. This is a Fat Herbie in the English Tan Dublin. And again, like, how amazing is that leather? I've got incredible natural character, both the grain character and the figuring. This one is a little bit less of that sort of figuring. It's a little flatter in texture. But what I love about the Herbie, I love a lot of things about this. One of the things is it really lets the leather do a lot of like showing off, because it's such a huge piece. And it's kind of like right now I'm wearing my plain toe Viberg boots, and they're just a huge continuous piece of shell. And there's something a little bit more magical about that context. People ask me about this a lot, or they get worried when they see the Herbie. They're like, man, that is huge. And it's definitely bigger than most other wallets that you'll see. Having said that, as you can kind of see right here, it will fit in this pocket. And I haven't found a pair of pants that it hasn't done exactly that for. Check out the figuring. That's the word I'm going to use now instead of grain character. The figuring here on those card holders, it sort of looks like tree bark or something, right? Whereas the grain character is much more of like a fine detail. Looking down the spine of this guy, it's the very small texture. The hair holes that were once hair for the animal, that's more of like the actual grain. So check this out. This is a different color of Dublin. We've been looking at a lot of English Tan, but we also do black Dublin. And Horween can produce a near infinite amount of colors of Dublin. All of them have roughly the same character. And it's very, very natural in appearance and very grainy and very figured. Here's a Tony the Ant. This one has been really popular for us also recently. I think people like this aesthetic of the Herbie here, this like outside bill slot, which is kind of a unique look, and that sort of thumb notch cut. People like that vibe from us, and we translated that into a little bit more of a punchy form factor. So this is also kind of like that Bugs brand. It's a little bigger, and we made it slightly bigger to more easily accommodate cash in the outside. We used to have this be the exact same as the Bugs brand here, but we made it a little wider because we noticed it was a lot easier to use cash on the outside here with just that little bit more space. This is the smallest of everything that we have here. This is a Frank the Enforcer, also in that black Dublin. We got that figuring in these top two card slots. And we have that really great grain character. I'm gonna try to demonstrate for you. I noticed that when I tilt this sort of like off the lights, you can see the grain a little bit more easily. And that grain is that really fine, small detail. These little bitty holes. And this one's been personalized too for ACK. And at ACK, if you see this, thank you so much. And something like this, you can put 6 to 8 keys in. Depends on how thick your keys are, really. But you can sort of store your stuff this way and keep it all together. And this is the only shell piece to show you today. Check this out. Sure is nice to see a piece of shell after all that grain. And if you watch the grain character video, it is very interesting how the world of marketers has sort of spun these leather terms onto us to say like, hey, you're definitely going to want to have full grain, top grain, genuine leather. But like the Cordovan doesn't have any grain, and damn, that's nice. So just be careful that just anybody, I guess, do an extra reading on like, what does full grain even mean before getting sold on something, because you can make nice corrected grain genuine leather too. So it's a little tricky, but man, the bright shiny luster of the shell, I'm keep sort of tilting it here because it has this really dramatic sort of color shift. Man, look how light it is at that angle, and as I turn it, it's like more red and brown. So that's a really great piece coming out of the shop today. So we're shipping this one out. I wanted to thank, I got my window open here with some of the people that have ordered over the last day. So John A, Harold P, Matthew Y, Katie V, Douglas B, Greg R, Brandon C, Brett W, Alijan O, Michael B, Andrew F, Bart P, Oliver B, Manuel A, Italo O, Sherman T, Stefan B, Linda M, Michael R. Man, thank you guys so much. Just really appreciate you guys supporting us, because it helps us keep making cool stuff, and we really enjoy doing that. So speaking of making cool stuff, I have one special thing to show you. So pre-announcement, this is the announcement for the announcement. We're going to be doing some more private stock this week is the hope. I'm working on taking photos of private stock, and I know that you guys are really into private stock, and that's why I'm trying to push us we're trying to do one private stock event each month if we can. And I want to show you this guy. I've never seen one of these before. Let me see. It seems a little dark, doesn't it? There we go. So check out this piece. This is Color 8 Chrome Excel. And this is the only private stock thing I'll show you today. And it's not available yet. It's probably going to go up on Friday. But Color 8 Chrome Excel is a little different than the Color 8 Shell. It's a little bit more cherry. So if you look at those undertones, I think they're a little lighter and a little bit more red. But it's super... Like the Color 8 Chrome Excel that we've been using, we actually bought a huge batch of it like years ago, and we're still cutting from it. We bought like thousands of feet. It's super, super nice, which is why we bought it. It was some of the nicer Chrome Excel. Just really nicely polished in and smooth, and great color, great feel. amazing piece of chrome excel. So look at the edges too. So we got a little peanut butter jelly going on here, Jim. If you're here, Jim. Jim just ordered what he's calling a peanut butter and jelly wallet. I think he combined some whiskey and colorate together. That's kind of like this. We don't have whiskey, but the colorate here. Take a look at the inside. This, when Danae, who made this, showed me this piece, I got really, really happy. I love the way this is the mock horsehide and some colorate chrome excel together. I really like how this is pairing up. And then in addition to that, we sort of have the contrasting colorate thread around all the border. That turned out great. So I'm really happy about this one. And I did a count on them yesterday. I think we got about 40 private stock items coming this week. So I'm pretty excited to show you guys those.